my boy's going to the NBA. I think they were obsessed with going to the NBA. Now, look, I think the expectations that we had you had and Lamar had for Lonzo, Skip, he could never live up to those expectations. He would literally have to be Magic Johnson in order to live up to the expectations that were placed on him. But when you look at it, like I said, it's the top three guys. What is it about Edwards? What is it about Wiseman that you like more than what you like about Melo?
Okay. In the big picture, obviously, by far the most gifted player is LaMelo.
Right.
But he's still undisciplined gifted. He's got the passing gene in him.
Right.
And Jay Billis is trying to make a case he's a better passer than Lonzo. It's hard for me to buy that, but I haven't seen enough of him. But LaMelo is far more offensively gifted than Lonzo.
Yes.
Okay, but he reminds me of my all-time favorite college player, and I don't know if you're old enough to have seen him, but it was Pete Maravich. And he was also coached at LSU by his father, Press. So he had the greenest light you'll ever see in the history of college basketball. He would come down and just create things, both passing and shooting, where you'd say, I've never seen that because he had no checks and balances. Nobody was going to yank him out of the game if he tried that shot or that pass. And some of them worked.
Three-point shot, too.
And he was shooting like 35-foot jumpers that counted 2 points.
Right.
And you'd say, I've never seen that pass. He would throw full-court baseball passes. You'd say, bounce passes.
Right.
You'd say, where did that come from? And he would hit somebody right in the hands for a layup.
Right.
And you'd say, I've never seen such flair. But it didn't contribute to winning a championship because it's too wild, too undisciplined, and too often it doesn't work.
Right.
And that's what I saw in the highlights of LaMelo. He scored, as a sophomore at Chino Hills, he scored 92 points in a game in which he cherry-picked the whole game.
Well, that was the biggest thing, Skip. I mean, because, we were on the air when this was going on. And he was like, okay, so what's this kid going to be? Is he just going to stay at half court and let them just throw in the ball so he can just shoot up 75 shots a game? And then LeVar, the coach, falls out because he's like, okay, I want a little bit more structure, a little bit more discipline. He's like, nah, my son is used to shooting any shot he wants, whenever he wants. So I think that aspect of it has changed. I agree with you. I believe he's more offensive gifted than Lonzo. Lonzo is a better defensive player than he is. But because the NBA is so open now, it's about getting up and down, Skip. I believe his game is probably more suited for the NBA than Lonzo. Lonzo wants to pass the ball. Skip, he ain't trying to really drive the ball because, like you said, right now he's afraid to go to the free throw line. But this kid here, I believe this kid is probably more driven and has more passion about the game than Lonzo. Now, maybe that's Lonzo's personality, just sit back and chill. But I believe this kid, like, he has a little bit more fire.
I hope you're right. I don't quite sense it yet. I see a kid who I read in one scouting report, he socially distances on defense where he just doesn't care.
No, he ain't playing.
There's no desire to play defense yet. Can you learn that desire? His big brother will defend you.
Yes, absolutely.
And his big brother ended up about 6'6", and they say this kid still could be growing, and he's listed at 6'7", but could wind up at 6'8".
Yes, Skip, he's big. I mean, you look at him, you can tell he's bigger than Lonzo. I mean, Lonzo, remember, we had Lonzo out here, and Lonzo is frail. Skip, this kid, like, he got a frame that can put 20, 30 more pounds on it.
If you do it, if you're committed to doing that, I'm good with it. But right now, in all the highlights I see, is he keeps resorting to just tough floaters, like he'll shoot some off-balance floater. And again, 25% from three is scary wrong, right? You can't do it. You can't survive if you're going to play like that. You have to make them respect you from distance because he's not a basket attacker just yet. Because I don't see the killer mentality, like, you better get out of my way, I'm going to dunk on you.
Well, Skip, you remember when Ja, now I'm not saying he's better than Ja Morant, but Ja,
if you look, Ja's got killer in him.
He does. But if you look at from the three-point shot, Skip, you remember teams were backing off, and he would make the shot, and he would tell them, you better tell him who I am, you better recognize me.
Okay, whatever that thing is, that quality, I don't sense it in the ball kids yet. I don't know what happened to LiAngelo. The middle one didn't have the gift. He didn't have quite the ability. But if LaMelo has any kind of hunger or desire to dominate, to get better, to work harder, that Jermaine Jackson, who's been sort of tutoring him and mentoring him and coaching him, training him, says that he does have it. Well, I got to see it manifested. And as yet, when you don't play high-level college basketball, when you don't play for Duke or Kentucky in the NCAAs, it's hard for us to make a judgment on it. Like, who is he? What is he?
Well, he has a very, very small sample. He has the smallest sample size of the top three guys, Skip.
Yep.
Edwards did play 1 year of college. Wiseman did play about 4 or 5 games, but we saw him all through his high school career.
Yep.
Well, we saw 2 years of high school, and then we saw Melo bounce here, bounce there, bounce all over the place. So he has the smallest sample size, but he's the most intriguing. I think the thing is, Skip, because he's giving you so little, and you look at his size, and you look at his ability to make plays, you're like, man, I got to have that. Just like you said yesterday with James Harden. Yeah, it might be a train wreck, but you sure want to see it. Let it be a train wreck on Mount Watch.
Okay, for box office, if I'm the T-Wolves, I don't really care about fit with D'Angelo Russell.
Right.
I care about, I want people to watch, and they're going to watch him to see if he is a train wreck.
Correct.
Or does he have it? Does he have some intangible that Lonzo hasn't yet displayed?
Right.
Well, I'm not sure. So he goes to the Pro League in Australia, and they say it's a pretty rough and tumble league where they get after you. It's a very physical league.
Right.
And he averages 17, 7, and 7. Okay, is it great? Did he average 35? No, he didn't. He averaged 17.
Well, Skip, the man was 16, 17 years of age. He's only 18 now.
Yeah. Well, he was I think he turned 18, I think, while he was playing in the Pro League. But whatever. If you're that dude, if you got next, I would think you would tear that league apart, but he didn't tear it apart, and he shot 25% from 3. He seems so far to be a better free throw shooter than his brother because he shot 72% in Australia in just small sample size, 6 games. And his brother is getting better and better at the free throw line. He got it all the way up to 57% this year, but as we keep talking about his brother, you're not going to last long in this league as a pure point guard if you can't make your free throws. You got to make 70% of your free throws.
And you probably need to shoot a little higher percent from the three-point line and from the field. But Skip, I think
by the way, Lonzo keeps getting better from 3 because he's gone up from 31 to 33 to last year he shot 38% from 3. Well, that'll work.
Well, he looked like he fixed that shot. It's not.
I said he got it over on the right side of his face.
I think the thing is, Skip, with him is that it's going to be shot selection. Because you remember all the shots that we see now used to be bad shots. Skip, you would never see a guy pull up from the check mark. You would never see a guy pull up from the logo unless it's at the end of a possession or the end of a half, a quarter, something like that. Now guys are routinely doing this. But I think some of his shot selections, coach is going to say, son, look, I understand, but this is not the time for you to shoot that shot.
Okay, no one's ever said that to LaMelo Ball, to my knowledge.
Well, they're gonna start.
Then somebody's going to start, and then what?
Yeah.
Okay, how's he going to react to that? Who the hell are you to tell me that?
Well, yeah, I mean, hey, you're the #1 overall draft pick, or you get a little more leeway than a non-lottery pick or a pick that's a little lower. But I think the thing is, Skip, for me, I think he wants to. I think he wants to be good. I think he believes that he's better than his brother. He wants to be better than his brother, and there's still time for his brother to go. What's Lonzo? 22, 23?
Yep. And I told you the 5 games before the pandemic hit.
Yes.
Lonzo went on a tear and averaged 21, 8, and 8. That's the guy I saw who could, as he becomes a man in the NBA, he has potential to average a triple-double. Now, the points are going to be lower. He's going to average point. He could maybe go 15, 10, and 10.
Yeah, but remember, that's what we talked about. See, everybody was talking about Magic, and I say, well, he's more Jason Kidd to me than Magic. But if how you going to say the man, Skip, that makes it seem like Jason Kidd's a bum. Jason Kidd just got the second most assists all time. Jason Kidd he and Grant Hill tied for Rookie of the Year. He was a perennial All-Star. He was a perennial All-NBA player. So don't make it seem like Jason Kidd was a bum. Jason Kidd was legit. And if Lonzo could have the career that Jason Kidd have, it would have been a slam dunk success.
Agreed. Yep, but nobody said Jason Kidd was going to be better than Magic Johnson the first day he stepped on the floor,
Look, people say a lot of things. Just because it's said doesn't mean it's going to be true. I didn't see Magic. Skip, I saw Magic in college. You knew he was special in college. If you just watched his senior, if you watched his sophomore year, when he went through the NCAA, Skip, you knew he was going to be special. Because, first of all, we'd never seen a guy that size handle the ball like that. So that was the first time. And so now everybody wants to be a big point guard. Why you think they got LeBron playing point? Scottie Pippen playing the point forward. It was because of Magic. Penny Hardaway was because of Magic.